out in the West, the Sunnis had finally said, you know, maybe these Americans are making sense. And there was this wonderful sheikh. He came out of nowhere. The only true leader I have seen. I'd put him ahead of Petraeus or anybody for changing the war. By the name of Sheikh Sattar. He was a mid-ranking sheikh. And he stood up with a couple of people and he said, I'm going to go after al-Qaeda. Because al-Qaeda had taken over everything. Al-Qaeda was like Robespierre and the Terror. The way we found al-Qaeda, whenever I'd be out on patrols with the Marines, and they had different ways they do things, you'd walk along, and they kept looking at the ground. I said, what are you guys doing? I said, we're looking for cigarette butts, sir. I said, what? They said, well, yeah. He said, you know, every farmer at the end of the day likes to sit out in a stoop and have a couple of butts. He goes in. And so if we don't find cigarettes, we know al-Qaeda's here. Because al-Qaeda had done things like banned all smoking in public, banned all lipstick, banned certain kinds of heating oil, banned certain kinds of tires. I mean, they had a whole list, CDs with music. And so the Marines out on patrol at the 18-year-old level had learned what are the little tip-offs that we know where these guys are. And the al-Qaeda had succeeded, and I don't think they could help themselves any more than Robespierre and the Terror could help itself in turning on itself. And they had succeeded in antagonizing these Sunnis. And finally, Sattar said, with just a few guys, he said, I'm going to stand up to them. Well, he couldn't stand up to a flea, but he had a wonderful person. He had a couple of colonels there who really liked him. And they said, okay, Sattar, you're willing to stand up. We'll give you a little help. And they parked a tank on his front lawn. So what you had was not, people talk about the Sunni awakening as though it was just an awakening. The underlying antecedent to the Sunni awakening was the strongest tribe saying, fine, I'll put you back in power.